Right, so me and Jack got up for 4:08, didn't we? We got her up about an hour, 2 hours ago, and then she's calved. Hello, hello. Right, we're gonna go and do some check-ins in a minute. We're gonna go down and check some hay. My hay crop that should have been harvested a month ago. We're going to see that in a minute. I'll just sort of talk about a few things. This is a bit of a catch-up, kind of talk about a few comments I received on the videos and what's happening with the weather here. Right, let me just get down. I'm in the shed. I'm in the shed that I cleaned out the other day where I ripped the pipe. I'll have a look at that in a minute. I just responded to someone criticised me moaning about the weather all the time. Well, I'm going to keep doing that, guys, because for those of you who understand farming, you know how important the weather is on farming. And for those of you who don't, this is a bit of a catch-up call for you, right? So, you're probably aware that how dry it's been in June. It was June, wasn't it? It's hard to remember now. We had no rain. Well, we had no rain May to June. Well, the impact on that now is quite significant for me. The impact of that is I'm 100 bales of silage down on where I would be normally, and we're probably looking at about £2.5 grand to replace that, just to guess there. So that's £2.5 grand that I wouldn't have to find. Well, there would be a cost of baling it, but you know, wouldn't be such a big lump to find if we'd had normal weather. And also the fact is I've got to try and find the stuff. Okay, so that's the impact of the June weather. Now we're in July. The impact of the July weather, the constant rain, is now just impacting me as well, because I'm very lucky in the fact the grass has greened up. Look, that's lovely green pasture over there for the cows, but I haven't made my hay, and we're going to go and look at the state of the hay now. I'm a bit worried what I'm going to find, to be honest. Now, hay crop, really, ideally you want to cut it in June. I'm in a stewardship scheme, so I kind of held off from cutting it because there's a cut date that you've got to abide to. However, I was hoping to cut it by now, and I haven't been able to because it just blooming hadn't stopped raining. Anyone who's got arable will know what it's like as well. There's just never 2 days in a row where it stays dry. Look at the sky now, grey. We had a bit of rain earlier, it's damp. So I haven't been able to cut that hay. Now the impact of that is I'm rapidly losing the quality of that hay. It starts out lovely in June, and it gradually, what happens is it just goes into suspended animation. That's the word, isn't it? Suspended animation. It stops growing, it stays there, it starts going stalky and bristle, and basically the food quality goes. So I've got a rapidly deteriorating crop of grass in that field. It's still there though, the bulk of it's still there. So if it comes out sunny, I still can harvest it, because I do harvest grass. But the impact of that as well, and I know some people commented on my Facebook page about the impact it's having on them as well, is the follow-on grass. Because once that hay crop's cut, I'm then letting that field green up for another grazing. Now, we're nearly into August. The problem is the grass is going to stop growing as fast as it gets later in the season. I've already missed probably 3 weeks of grass growth on that field, and that's grazing for the heifers or even the cows. My worry now is that that's going to impact how much grass I've got to graze at the end of the growing season later in the year. So you can see a double whammy there of the quality of the hay not being so good. This is June hay here. This is lovely. This is the round bales we made. That is, just look at that. It's green. It's very soft. It's very soft, and they're tucking into that lovely. I'm only feeding this in here because there isn't enough grass in this field for all of them. So there's the impact of the rain, and I'm rain and sun in both ways. Anyway, I'm always going to moan about that, so if you don't like it. Right, secondly, I just talk about this shed, the mucking out shed. I did have a clanger and I ripped the pipe. We'll have a look at that in the middle. A couple of people made comments on how I'm doing it. Why didn't I park the trailer at 90 degrees and just reverse out onto here? Well, there is a significant reason for that. With all the rain, this is a quagmire. If I come off that concrete to reverse out and tip in the trailer, I'm gonna rut that up terrible. and that's too tight a bend really to get round to do it like that, and I'd have the trailer wheels there. So effectively that was no good idea. The other one, I think someone else said, why don't I put it there, trailer there? Well, the trouble is that gate hangs out there, so I've got to take that really heavy gate, that's a really heavy gate, off his hinges. And also reversing round there, I can't get by there unless I keep shutting that gate, so I've got to go out in the field and then I've got to reverse around. It's quite a fiddle. So actually, from a kind of ease of doing it, this was the most efficient way. And someone else pointed to me, a lot of these ideas you probably thought of already. Well, believe me, I have. Other people commented about, why don't I get a bobcat? Why don't I get a bobcat? Well, in an ideal world, you'd have everything, like in your house. Why haven't you got 5 bedrooms in your house? Well, can't afford it, or don't need 5 bedrooms. Well, don't really need a bobcat. It's a luxury I don't really need. So I need a bobcat for one shed, that one there, that little shed there. Farmer P did it a couple of years ago when I was off from hospital. The rest of the sheds, as you noticed, I managed to clean them out with a tractor fine. The good thing about a tractor is dual use or multiple use, isn't it? I can put that on my mower. I ain't going to be mowing with a bobcat, am I? I can do round bales, bring them in. I can do the tedding with it, you know. I can go muck spreading if I want to. You can't do that with a bobcat. Bobcat's going to come here. If I buy a bobcat now, I muck that shed up and then I park it somewhere, because I'd rather use a tractor in here because I've got a bit more bigger scope to clean out. I'm going to park it somewhere. It's going to have to be insured, and it's going to sit there for most of the year not being used. Right, finally, let's have a look at the water pipe. The disaster. Look, here's the disaster. Oh, great. I've got a leak. Oh, I've caught the pipe. Oh, brilliant. Look at that. So in there somewhere, I've actually ripped the pipe. Can't believe I did that. Oh. Come on, give me a break. Well, that was a bit of a disaster. So since I did that video, before anyone started criticising the fact that I hadn't done anything about it, I have actually pinned it to the wall now. Just a couple of brackets. I made these brackets. These are only bent bits of galvanised tin. I just cut them out with a disc cutter, drilled 2 holes, bent them in the vise, boom. So that's keeping that off the ground. I've also marked where the pipe comes out the wall, there, and the same there. There's another one over there. So hopefully, you see, really the problem was when I was driving in, I was driving in with a loader bucket, pinching the pipe against the wall. So if I get the loader bucket in there now, it's not going to pinch it. I've just got to remember it's up that level. I didn't really want to run it all the way up round because that's a lot of effort. But that's the fact, the main thing is that'll freeze up there. The thing about having the pipe down this level is in the winter, the muck level will be somewhere there and it'll stop the pipe freezing. The other thing someone said, or quite a few people said, why don't you move that trough? Why don't you move that trough over there? Yeah, that is a good idea. That's a really good idea, except the pipe continues past the trough, continuing down here to feed a water trough out here. There they go, look, there's a good example of a heifer having a drink. And that trough enables me then to have cattle in that field and cattle in here separate, shut in here, so I can deal with something in here. And I haven't got to worry about those cattle in that field not having any water, because that's the only water source in that field. Hence, that's why that pipe runs along there, and hence why I can't really move the trough. Anyway, right, we're going to go down. I've got to move a fence. I'm going to go down. We're going to have a look at the hay crop, but I've got a heifer down there. Can you see? I've already been down to check her once already. Down there, look, right down the bottom. She is due to calve. She's overdue. I think she's going to calve today. She's on her own. She's looking very heavily bagged up. She's eating at the moment, but her tail is a little... Sorry, I'm maximum zoom. Can you see her tail's up a little bit? I think she's starting to calve. Being on their own is a good sign, or a sign that something's happening. So we're going to go and we'll see her later. Look at the blooming rain's coming in again. Look, I can just see it down by that. Oh, look, I haven't got a coat. I have to go and get a coat. Can you see, look, down there, look, you can see the rain in the distance, can't you? Obscuring that pylon, and it's going across. Because you can see when we get to the other pylon, look, that's all rain there. When we get to the other pylon, which is, where's the other pylon? You can see that a lot clearer, can't you? So the rain hasn't got there, but that's where I'm going, that pylon. We're going to go down to that pylon and see the hay. Right, let's get going. All right, girls, we'll be back. We've got to check that heifer later. Right, I've just moved the fence in this field for the cows. We're going to go on down and have a look at this hay crop. I've got to come back. I've just spotted some cheshrooms. Cheshrooms, if you didn't know that, well, I call them cheshrooms. Other people got probably different names for them. They're like a big dinner plate sized version of a mushroom. But what's weird, that is the wrong time of year for them. There should be, they're usually September, and what we end of July. It just shows what the weather conditions are like. It's warm and wet, which is they like, but you never expect them this time of year. Right, I'm going to go on down. We're going to go and have a look at this hay. There you go. I just drove down through the pasture that we grazed back in the spring. So I grazed that with the cows. Oh look, there's a deer. Can you see that? Just gone in the hedge. Oh, disappeared. Me being too noisy. There's always deer down here. Right, so I grazed this. I don't know if you saw that deer. I got a bit of dirt on the lens. I grazed this. When did I graze this? About May time, and you can see this is greened up lovely now. It's come back, but we're gonna spin round. We'll look at our hayfield in a minute, which is doesn't look that great. Of course, the trouble is as well, the thistles start doing really well. They get maturity this time of year. Well, there isn't a lot of grass out here, mind. Didn't put any fertiliser on here. Right, I'm going to spin it round. You can see the hay crop through there. I'm going to wipe my lens off a minute because I have got some sort of dirt on it. That's better. Right, let's have a look. So we're going into the hay meadow. It all starts looking a bit sick this time of year. You can see quite a good example where I strip grazed as far as there. I strip grazed it up to there because under here you don't get a lot of grass because of the shading from the trees, so it's hardly worth mowing. But oh, look at this. It's gone down as well because it's got up to a height. It's gone down. Look here, the docks are all flipping up in it. Look at this. Doesn't look great, does it? You're a cow, you wouldn't think that was that tasty. So it's still got some green in the bottom which will dry out. I mean, probably get a good crop of bales off it. But you can see what I mean about so these bits like that, that's just, let me just crunch it up a bit. That's just a dead piece of grass, and that's probably a bit stalky, not that great for them. This stuff, if it dries out, will be fine. But you can see the thistles in it. We sprayed it a few years ago as well. They've come back. Thistles there. A lot of buttercup in the bottom. You can see the buttercup here. Look, that's buttercup. But they'll eat that all right. That won't affect them. When it dries out, it's fine. But that's not a great crop of grass. I've seen a lot of fields of grass like this around the countryside when driving round. I've also, when I was driving out last night, I saw a lot of fields where the combine has stopped. They managed to get the headland done. Reggie managed to finish his oilseed rape yesterday, but I've seen a lot of people where they've gone around the headland once, then the rain's come in, they've had to stop. And that's just, you know, the season we're in this year is unreal. It's bizarre. We've gone from scorching hot, now we've gone to completely unsettled. Two of my friends put pictures on Facebook last night of them sat in front of a lit fire in July. Flipping fire. Meanwhile in Europe it's scorching hot, but in the UK, well, last night it was a bit like autumn, wasn't it? Or winter. Happy days, happy days. Right, let's get back. I've got to get my cheshrooms for my breakfast, and I wonder what's going to happen with that heifer. Let's go and get me breakfast first. Everybody out. Right. So that wire's on. Let me just step over it. That wire's live, and the cows are coming down now. Look. But So let's have a look what I can find here. So this is like almost like a fairy ring. It's half of a fairy ring, if you like. So look at these yummy bad boys, look. So 1, 2, it goes round the ring. There's another one there, look, one there. These are past it. And I had some the other day. These, when they get like that, look at the size of it. That's probably full of maggots. Yeah, you look, let me just, can you see the maggots in there, or where they've been? There's another good one there. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to eat those. Right next to the cow poo, that's no good. So I got about 4 of these for my breakfast. Doing this one-handed. It's really windy now, right? Let's cut these off. Let's just get that one. Right. There you go. One there. Leaving those. Those are past it. The cows are not happy, they're bawling, look. Can you... Alright girls, I'll be there in a minute. Right, let's get this one. Leave that one there, look, there's 2 there. Try not to miss any, because 4 is only just about enough. Oh, that one's gone. Oh, look at the maggots in that. Can you actually see them wriggling? Can you see that? That's alive. I bet this one's the same. Oh yeah. Look at that. Right. So I got 2. Cows are not happy. I got 2 for my breakfast. Bit suspicious of that one with that big hole there. 2, right, let's get these in the Land Rover. Get over this wire. Oh! Oh, I dropped it! Come on. Trying to do too many things right. Right. Okay, so this is the problem you don't get with mushrooms in the supermarket, isn't it? I don't think the public are quite aware of this unless you've been out mushrooming. The problem with field fresh mushrooms is that they're very susceptible to maggots. I'm not quite sure what creature it is, but something lays its eggs in them and they hatch out. And if you don't get them when they're really young and fresh, you get a problem with the maggots in them. And so you can go home with a really good pile of them and then put them in the frying pan, they're a bit alive. Now I guess some people wouldn't worry about that, it's a bit of protein, but I'm not going to eat maggoty mushrooms, so those chest shrooms. So anyway, I've got 2, that's alright, 2. If I don't look too hard, they might be alright, mightn't they? Right, let's let these cows in. Right, come on then. Come on then, girly whirlies. They're up by that old implement. Come on in. Come on. They want their breakfast like me. Right, come on. All right. Come on, you have to get out of the way, the gate's there. Come on. Come on. Come on. They're off. First one to the buffet gets the freshest grass. So I just tie in that with one hand. I think that'll be alright, that'll hold it. Right, can you, excuse me, form an orderly queue. The buffet, there's plenty for everyone. Look at them. You can rub on my Land Rover, there's enough dents on it already. Look at them, they're legging it. They're not hungry either because, well, they must be hungry, but they had enough grass yesterday for sure. They weren't in this field, they were in another one, and they haven't tidied it up that well. It's purely because this is fresh. They certainly aren't underfed. It's like breakfast at a hotel, isn't it? And cute, some people want to be first to the buffet, isn't it? Right. Plenty of food for everyone, no need to rush. Stop pushing. And they'll walk down that bit of strip, they'll walk down it, checking it out before they put their heads down, look. Can you see that? They're sort of wandering on down. They could, look, those ones there, over there, they could stop and eat, but they don't. They keep walking. Which shows they're not hungry, doesn't it? See, why would you keep walking? You're actually walking on your food. Look, that one there, look. Why wouldn't it just stop and eat? Just keep going, look. See? It's crazy, isn't it? And the ones behind as well, look. They'll carry on walking. What are you hoping to find? Something a bit better than the bit of grass behind the other bit of grass? Funny, isn't it? They rush to get to it, and then look, a few of them are eating up here. But those ones down there, they're still wandering on down, look. Still walking. Oh, that one's stopped now, look. Still walking. There you go. Never underestimate how silly animals can be. Right, let's get back. Breakfast time. Time for a fried Cheshire on toast with a bit of butter, and then we're going to keep an eye on that heifer. And here we have the mushrooms. I just put a bit of garlic in, frying off. Nice bit of toast. Don't need anything else, just on their own. Lovely. Right, so me and Jack got up for 4:08, didn't we? We got her up about 2 hours ago, and then she's calved. Look at that, and the calf's already up and sucking. So when I saw her about 6:30 this morning, she looked like she was going to calve, and now she has. She got a bad eye. Oh no, it's all right. And Harry, where's Harry gone? You pulled this calf out, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I just came to have a look at see if she came out, and I had to pull the rest of her out because she's had the
Was
back
it a bit
legs.
hanging out, was it?
Yes, 3/4 out, so I just pulled the rest of it
Is that
out.
the first time you pulled a calf out?
Yeah.
You've seen me do it enough times, haven't you?
Pulled it around and then put it in front of it.
Well
Put
done,
some
Hag.
straw around.
So the two herdsmen here. Jack was very good at going around checking it, weren't you, Jack? And there's the... Oh, look, you can hear it now. Can you hear it slurping away? Listen to that. Noisy, isn't it? Mum's just stood there, look. Look, you get a better view from this side. Right, there you go. That's a good morning's work getting her up.